Hi guys, hope you guys are doing well. My name is Christian. Welcome back to my channel. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, first things first, I hope you guys are doing fine mentally. There has been so much going on in the world. There's been so much stuff that we've seen online, girl, with this election, with the celebrities and pop culture on TV, on social media. There's been so many ominous things that we've seen with this police brutality. You know, we've seen children being slain. Like, y'all, it literally feels like we're almost in 2020 with the amount of scary stories that we've been seeing back to back. So first things first, I hope that you guys are just feeling mentally okay, because there's so much stuff that we're seeing right now and so much stuff that we're having to just face, and we just should not have to be facing those things, and we should not have to be dealing with those things. But yet, here we are. So more than ever, I want you guys to be okay. I want you to be mindful of what you're feeling mentally, and I want you guys to just be taking care of yourselves, because this is the time to do it now more than ever. Make sure you are really, really taking care of yourself. Make sure you guys check into my latest uploads. I just uploaded a video about things to know before you turn 30 and a couple of other things. So make sure you guys get into it. As always, you guys know I'm doing the releasing session. You can get the solo tarot course. Book a 30-minute session with me, a 60-minute session, a mentorship, a spiritual mentorship, a business mentorship, a business reboot, a business consultation. Get into it. All of that you can find at the link in the description box. I do feel like I've been a little MIA from my platforms. I don't know if it feels like that to you guys, but I definitely feel like I've been a little MIA. I feel like I'm definitely in a transition period, just in my life. I feel like I feel like maybe we all feel that way. Maybe we all feel like we're in a really big transition period right now, and I guess I'll just talk about how I feel, and I think that you guys will be able to relate to it, right? Because that's why you guys are here. You guys are my chosen community. So the reason you're here is because you can relate to what I'm going to be experiencing and what I'm going to be dealing with. But I have just been, feeling very just kind of numb or nonchalant to what's been going on in the world. Like, I see something and it's so sad, it's so horrible, and I'm just like, this world, I've just been accepting the world for what it is. And I think that's the only way to stay sane. This world isn't supposed to be lilies and rainbows. It's not supposed to be happily ever afters and fairy tales and no sickness and no pain. This world is supposed to be exactly what it is. It's supposed to be exactly what we're experiencing every single day, and we are quite literally fighting for our lives, fighting for our mental health, fighting for our peace, trying to feel differently, trying to still be positive, still think that you can make it, still be, productive, still have faith. We are fighting for our lives to still have faith and still keep our heads afloat. And I feel like it's harder now more than ever, because everywhere you turn, every day you look online, there's something crazy going on. There's somebody being offed. There's somebody that's offed themselves. There's something going on crazy in the media. There's something that's happening with children. There's still stuff going on overseas. If you know, you know. It's just a really, really crazy space that we're in. A really, really crazy space that we're in. And I think that we can't help sometimes but feel depressed and feel frustrated and feel like, what am I going to do? How can I do this? How can I beat this? I think now is the most important time to accept life for what it is and to figure out what you're going to do about it. I think that's what I've been doing. Like, this is the life that I have. This is the world that I'm in. This is the time period that I'm in. This is what I'm surrounded by. What am I going to do about it? Am I going to keep being down about it, stressed about it, frustrated about it? I can keep feeling all of those things because those are real emotions to feel. I can keep worrying about, oh Lord, I done totally forgot everybody broke. We're also in an economy crisis. We don't know who's going to be ruling this country. We don't know what health care we're going to lose. We don't know what benefits we're going to lose. We don't know what the elderly people are going to do if their Social Security is cut. We don't know what the education system is going to do. We don't know what these babies are going to do. There's so many things that are up in the air. And these questions won't be answered after the election. It won't be answered next year. It won't be answered after anything. I think that a lot of these questions we've always needed to answer. When is there going to be change? When is there going to be more love in the world? When are we going to get healing? When are we going to have free healthcare? When are we going to see the things that we need to see and see the change that we really, really want to see? And I think that just focusing in on what you can do to make that change for yourself is really, really key. And that may mean a bunch of different things. You know, it may mean finding a church. It may mean more prayer, more meditation, more cleansing. I think it's important now than ever to just be real with yourself. It's time to get off the shade room if you're still on it. It's time to get away from the bad friends, to stop eating the bad stuff. It's time to stop consuming the trash. It's time to wake up and recognize the world that we're in. And I feel it's also time to figure out if you want to keep being ignorant and blind to everything, or if you want to see everything for what it is and figure out how you can make sure you remain as much in the light as you possibly can. Because the darkness is here, and the darkness has been here. You know, like I always keep telling people, yes, we've had the pandemic. Yes, we've had all these things happen. But we've also had presidents be assassinated before. We had the civil rights movement. We've had slavery. We've had all kind of horrific, terrible things happen, not only in this country, but in the world. In the history of humanity, I don't think there's been a decent decade. I don't think there's been a decade of peace since humans have been around each other. For some reason, you know, humans, we just can't do it. Ever since Cain killed Abel, we just been lost. You know what I'm saying? So we are flawed as a people. We're always going to be flawed. And I think it's easy right now to romanticize the past. It's easy right now to think about how your life was before all of this, at your old job, maybe in your old place, or even your childhood. Oh my God, I've been romanticizing my childhood for years. I've been thinking back to my childhood when my dad was still here and when it was just me and my siblings and we were all living together in a house. And, you know, I think about those memories from my childhood now more than ever because I cherish, those are the happiest moments of my life, and I cherish those moments, you know. And I think that we should cherish the past and think of it as a point of joy and as a point of happiness and just as a point of, you know, just kind of lifting our spirits and just a reminder that there can be good in the world. You know, we experience a lot of happy moments in our lives when other people were grieving. You know, we experience a lot of happy moments first, a lot of graduations, a lot of weddings when people were celebrating funerals and sadness. You know, every good moment that we have, every good moment that we think back to and say, oh, I wish life was like this. It was a bad moment for somebody else. What we're experiencing on earth, this has always been happening. It's always been happening, especially on social media, you know, especially now, y'all, like we are seeing now, like people have been knowing that people have been predators. People have been knowing that there's violence going on in the industry, that this is going on, that this is going on. Like these things are coming to the light now because of social media, but the world has been like this. The world has been a dark place. It's been a dark place. And again, I think it's more important than ever that we stay in the light because we don't know the fate of where this world is going. And I think that what is happening, because I always say to people like, the world has always had this or it's always had this. Like, it doesn't mean the world is going to end right now, honey. You know, people always say, oh, the world is ending, the world is ending. I don't know if we're going to see the end of the world. I don't think that this generation will, honestly. But I do think, because there's a lot more that has to happen. But I do think that a lot of things are happening that are leading us there, you know, and one of the things is, and I feel like I've talked about this before in another video, but people won't love anymore. There won't be any more love. There also won't be anybody else having children. You know, there's a lot of people right now in a lot of countries where the birth rate is going down and marriages and divorce rates are going down. You know, less people are getting married. Divorces are going up. We're also having, you know, all of this discourse between man and woman, between man and man, between woman and woman. There's fighting amongst a lot of people. Love does not mean the same anymore. The whole idea of a two-parent household, of family, of sisterhood, of friendship has been tainted by the things that we see on social media. People don't feel the same way that they do about friends and about love and about loyalty anymore. That is changing. The needle is getting closer and closer to the demise of the world as we know it. And I don't know if it's something that we're going to see or our children, maybe our grandchildren. Now, I don't think we're that far off. We may be 150 years, 100 years off. I don't think we're that far off now. But, you know, the world is going to get way, 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 way worse. There's not going to be peace anywhere in the world when, you know, it finally comes to an end. And someone may argue that there isn't any peace now, but I think it's important to note that everything is relative. You know, you may have a very, very bad day today and a really, really good day tomorrow. You may have, you know, a month of laughter coming up. You may have a month of love coming up, a month of abundance, a month of opportunity. You don't know what's next for you. We don't know what's next. But what I do know is that this moment of darkness is not going to last forever. This moment where everybody is fighting with each other, everybody is debating about something, everybody is hating on each other, everybody is trying to find a loophole in everybody else's argument. This season isn't going to last forever. I think we always see this when there's an election year. And people say that often, that there's always a lot of, police brutality and police violence every time there's an election year. And we can definitely say in 2020, we literally had to end the pandemic when we were supposed to be inside to go outside and risk our lives so we could protest for George Floyd. It was literally police brutality that brought us out of our homes into the streets to begin protesting and rallying. So I think that definitely is a common theme. I don't know if it's an astrological thing or a spiritual thing or what, but there's always something that shifts in this country specifically and in the world every 4 years. Somebody needs to look into that every 4 years. But I feel like, the more that we grow, the more that we expand, the more that, the timeline moves. Of course, things are going to be changing and shifting around us. We can't have things be the same. You can't have the same joy that you had when you were 5 years old. You can't have the same joy that you had when you graduated college. That's why it's so important to just revel in those good moments. That's why it's so important to, if you're feeling good, feel good. If you're feeling good, feel good. If you wake up with energy, make the most of it. If you wake up with a smile on your face, keep that smile on your face for the rest of the day. If you wake up, seeing somebody that looks great, compliment them. If you have the opportunity to hug somebody or eat your favorite food, do it. This is not the time to miss any moment that you have to bring happiness into your life. It's more important than ever that you really, really hold on to your mental, because people are going to be losing their minds. I mean, people are already losing their minds walking around with bandages taped to the side of their head. So you already know the lights is on, but ain't nobody home. The lights is on in this country, but ain't nobody home. So it's important to really, really be spiritually attuned to what you want, to where you're going, to what you're trying to step into, whatever that means for you. Get your questions answered. You guys need to pray. Like I said in my last video, pray, read a book, meditate, book a session, get into it. Whatever you need to do, get your questions answered. Ask God what this season is supposed to be for you, because I'm going through a major, major, major transition in my life. And eventually I'll talk to you guys about it when I'm through it. But I'm not the only one. The friends that I have in my life are also going through major transitions. The people that we're seeing online are going through major transitions. We've been in a period of transition since the pandemic. We've lost so many people. We've seen so many things change. There's been so much that's shifted and not really in a good direction. There's been so much that's come out in the media, even just this year. Just this year, we've seen so much and we've experienced so many different things. So it's so important to figure out what now, what does that mean for you? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to let it make you move forward? Or are you going to be like, what, this is too much for me. I'm going to give up on everything. I'm going to backpedal on everything. I'm going to quit everything. I'm going to second guess everything. This isn't the moment to do that. This is the moment to say, you know what? I'm ready. I'm worthy. I'm prepared. It's time. I've been ready. I've been on it. This is the time to do it. This is the time to really, really dedicate yourself to a new beginning and to a new start. I think that, this season and this year is so key. I don't think that we're going to have a breath of fresh air, honey, until 2027. Seriously. I think that next year, the first year, with our new president, I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of different things as well. Some people may be more comfortable next year, but other people are not. This next year is going to be a year of a lot of things being fulfilled, prophecy being fulfilled. And your prophecy is based on what you're doing right now and what you've been believing and telling yourself. Have you been telling yourself that a breakthrough is coming? Even when you're looking at a closed door, have you been telling yourself that a breakthrough is coming? Or have you been telling yourself, I'm going to hang on for as long as I can, because as soon as the next thing come, honey, I'm about to let go? Have you been telling yourself, I'm waiting to let go. I'm waiting to give up. I can't take this again. What are you speaking over yourself? Do you feel like these dark times will last forever? And if you do, then what are you doing about it? For some of us, this is your year to go to therapy or see a psychiatrist. For some of us, this is your year to finally start working out. It's your year to finally stop smoking, finally stop drinking. You've been seeing people get sober. The sober movement that we've been seeing since the pandemic hasn't been by accident. It hasn't been. People were in their homes and people realized, I have a problem. I smoke weed too much. I drink too much alcohol. I party too much. I don't feel like myself if I'm not drinking. We've been seeing a movement of sobriety, a movement of people choosing to be in their right mind, a movement of people choosing to not numb themselves and face the truth. This comes also in the divorce that we've been seeing. This comes also in people opening businesses and closing them down and selling them. This comes in everything that we've been experiencing. We've seen what people are willing to do for money, what people are willing to do for attention, what people are willing to do for followers. We've seen it clear as day. And something else, a really, really big benefit, is that there's not anybody who you don't know their truth. I have been unfriending people on Facebook every day. Anytime somebody says something dumb about the election, about what's going on in the world, anytime somebody shares a trolling comment, anytime somebody just open their mouth to be ignorant, I'm blocking them. I'm unfriending them. Like, you need to be specific about what you're consuming and what you're following and what you're looking at. Because you know right now how everybody in your life feels about everything. You know who loves women and protects women. You know who cares about the children. You know who cares about the state of our world. You know who cares about what the president is doing. You know who cares about, their livelihood and their spiritual well-being. And you know who only cares about themselves. You know who only cares about getting a trending comment. You know who only cares about getting views or being seen by people. You know who only cares about getting their get back. And they don't care about what comes to them. They're just trying to see when they're going to get their get back. It's loud and clear. It's loud and clear. So you don't have any excuse to still be friends with those people, or still follow those people, or still listen to those people, or still support those artists, or still listen to their music, or go to their shows, or still be doing this and be wondering, why y'all acting like that? Why y'all feeling like that towards me? Why y'all judging me? You don't have any reason to not know the root of whatever you're supporting and whatever you're doing. You know it now more than ever. We don't have the benefit anymore of ignorance. I've been saying that. Ignorance is bliss, and that's why everybody is miserable today, because you do not have the benefit anymore of acting like you don't know. Everything is out in the open. If you listen to an artist, you know who they mess with, what they did, their charges, their crimes, if they still doing it. Okay, if you got a friend around you, you know if they're lying, if they're faking, if you can really trust them, if they really ain't about what they're talking about. You can see very clearly. It's as clear as day. And if you don't see, if you feel like you don't see or you can't trust, look in the mirror, because you're not being honest with yourself. I didn't want this to turn into a drag, but I'm just going with what the Holy Spirit is telling me, okay? If you can't accept what's going on in the world, if you still living in la la land and you can't face the truth, and you think everybody lying about everybody, and you think ain't none of this true, it ain't that serious, it ain't that deep, you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what are you not accepting about you? Because there's a chance that you aren't accepting certain darkness within you. The girls that have been doing shadow work since 2020, our eyes are peeled back so far, our eyelids are stapled to the back of our head. Okay? We can't close our eyes if we wanted to. Our eyeballs are dried up, little balls of sand, because our eyes are burst open at everything. The veil has been lifted for the girls that's been doing the shadow work. When you know that you have jealousy issues, anger issues, ego issues, inner child issues, past trauma, when you know you're carrying that baggage, and every day you're asking yourself, what's triggering me? What's affecting me negatively? What's coming up for me? Why do I feel like this? You're constantly analyzing your outside surroundings. So do shadow work. Shadow work is more important than ever right now to do, because if you can't recognize the darkness within you, you're going to be blinded to what's around you. And you're going to think that it's okay when you come across somebody else's darkness. You're going to think that it's okay to debate over who shot who, or who wrong for doing this to who, or who's in the right. You're going to think that it's acceptable for you to entertain certain people or to support certain people or certain things. You're going to make yourself feel like, oh, it don't matter if I do this. It don't matter if I do this, even though I said I'm going to do it. It don't matter. You'll really make yourself believe those things. And those things are lies. It is a lie that your integrity don't matter. It is a lie that dignity doesn't matter. People don't even know what integrity means anymore. They don't even know. So you have to make sure that you are being a person of integrity with yourself and with the world around you. You have to make sure that you're accepting things for what they are, and that you're walking in it, and that you're living it, and that you know what you're getting into. Because if you don't, it's too late to still be falling for the okie doke. It's too late to still be, accepting people that don't really like you and tolerating stuff that ain't really for you. It's too late for that. Now is the time to put your foot down and say, hey, this is me. This is what I'm accepting. This is what I want. This is what I'm worth. So this is what I'm tolerating. This is what I'm accepting. This is what I'm waiting on. It's time now to do it and say it and speak it and know it and trust it and not second guess yourself. Because there's so many things that are looking to taint your judgment and make you sway or feel this way or feel that way. You have to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to say, this is how I feel. This is what I believe. This is what I want. And if you can't do that for you, then you're going to be controlled by everybody. Everything right now is looking to control your mind and persuade you to believe this or believe that. It's totally up to you 100% to say, this is what I believe. This is what I want. This is what I'm standing on. And knowing that changes everything. So yes, guys, I really want this to be a season of awakening. Get into your shadow work, get into your prayer, book a session, book a releasing session. If you've been wanting to learn tarot, book a course. If you've been wanting to, figure out what's been going on with you, get a reading. If you've been wanting to start your business finally, book a business reboot, book a spiritual mentorship, get into it. I really want you guys to just focus on doing the work right now, whatever that may mean for you. Look up guided meditations on YouTube for whatever you need. Guided meditations for stress, guided meditation for fear, guided meditation for anxiety, whatever. Use the resources that you have. Use whatever you have to your benefit to help you grow and help you succeed in this next chapter. I think that we're all being prepared to step into our purpose. I think we're all being prepared to do some things that maybe we haven't been ready for, that we didn't expect it was time for us to do, but now the time has come, so we have to get into it and make the most of it. But yes, I hope that you guys are, like I mentioned, in your right mind. I hope that you guys are feeling as good as you can, and I hope that you're able to really, really educate yourself on what's going on. Look at the debates, read the articles. Don't just trust what people are saying. Educate yourself. Educate yourself, educate yourself, educate yourself, and make sure you're doing all that you can to make a difference. So yes, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. If you guys want to book a session with me, check down below in the description box to get into it. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Bless.